All right. So before we bring on the man of the hour, I just want to do a quick. Obviously, he'll speak for himself, but I just want to mention. So he's basically been in the DJ game since 1986. He's been on KSOL, KMEL, KKBT, KIIS, as well as the world famous Sway and Tech Wake Up Show, and he was the creator of Dope Mix Volume 1 and 2. Everyone, give it up for DJ Prince Ice. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. I don't got the sound effect. What's up? How you doing?
What's going on, cousin? How are you, man? Thank you for having me, brother. First and foremost.
For sure. No, thank you for
always chatting with the homies, man. It's always good, man. Talk shop, no problem. Let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. So I know we got a lot to cover, so let's get into this. So you know how I like to do this is I like to kind of go back to the beginning because I feel like maybe our upbringing can kind of lead, obviously leads us down a certain path to how we are today, obviously, right? So yeah, so if you can tell me where were you born and where were you raised?
Absolutely. I was born in Tehran, Iran. My mom is French and German. My father is Assyrian. And we moved here after the revolution in 1979. And I've been living in San Francisco and grew up there for, I would say, till about 1986 when we moved to LA. And I went back to San Francisco, was there for the 90s, my KMEL roles and whatnot. And did most of my college over there. And then I came back here in 95 to go to Priority Records. And the first project I was working was the Bums from the Bay. That was a Sway and Tech project. Mm-hmm. So I worked that. Then after that, I went to Hits Magazine. And I was in charge with my man, Rick Lee, rest in peace. Me and Ricky Lee Mensch did the segment in the old magazine. It used to be called In the Mix. Mm. And I used to talk to all the DJs and, find out what records are really hot and what was working. And meanwhile, I was doing the Wake Up Show with Sway and Tech. I was doing all the producing for that show. I was doing all the drops, all the, because we were syndicated. So all the, after we recorded every show, we had to be mass produced and sent out. So I did all that. I was DJing the show. I had to go through records and find out what we're going to play. All the test pressings, have to listen to them. We used to get, I got stacks and stacks of test presses that, we were the first to break in the country. Yeah. So whether it be Gangstar, Mobb Deep, or, a lot of hip hop stuff. And sometimes people used to come to the show, be like, yo, I just did this record, check it out, and put it right on our table to play. So that's really the beginning, man. And here I am in 50-some years later after birthday.
Yeah. So you blazed through that really fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop back and we're going to go different segments of your life.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to give you a rundown.
Yeah, of course.
You have a little,
There you go. That is our table of contents, everyone. And we're going to go to chapter 1. So how was it, coming here, obviously, with what was going on back in your home country and everything? Was it a culture shock for you? And
it was a culture shock to an extent, but see, I didn't come straight here. I went to the UK, stayed there for a while. I went to Canada, stayed there for a while. And then I came to San Francisco after that. So I got a little bit of, flavoring of, wherever, pretty much different countries and different flavors or whatever. But this was the ideal place for us because we had a lot of family here. Mm-hmm. And it was just a good way to start. Had an aunt, let us stay there for a while, get our footing together. And, it was just hard because, we come from money. So my dad was, top engineer in our home country. But see, everything was shut down. Couldn't send no money out. So basically, me and my mom left with a suitcase and the clothes on our back.
Wow.
So we came here and everything happened in, gradual, still you couldn't really get money out of the country or whatever, whether it's jewelry or whatever, it was just a culture shock to come here and have to really start back up And if it wasn't for my mom, you know, she was pretty good, and
Yeah.
we did just fine.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Shout outs to the moms. For
Yeah,
real.
for real. And
Yeah.
you know, my dad eventually came, and
Yeah.
for him, it was a culture shock, because you know, it was very emasculating for him, because you
Yeah.
know, he used to run shit.
Yeah.
And here, you
Yep.
can't do it that way. You know,
Yep.
language difficulties and things of that sort. So you know, I
Mhm.
props to Pops too, because he held it down.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's a lot of us, you know, with our parents coming here, right? A lot of culture shock, you know, because, you know, my parents are from the Philippines, you know,
Of
them
course.
having to learn the language and all that stuff. And definitely, yeah, like you said, like a lot of them are at the top and then they kind of had started at the beginning here. So yeah, it's a immigrant experience, man, for real. So let's get into, because I think not too many people know about this. And because I was digging on your Insta and I was like,
Oh
okay.
wow.
Yeah, so and you'll see this. So this is what I always like to do with people. So your b-boy career. So you actually started out as a b-boy. Boom. There you go. So tell us about that. Like, how
You
did
know,
you get into b-boying and everything?
me and King Tech were really into the art form,
Mhm.
whether it was, you know, music, graffiti, popping. This is the day you were talking about, the Rocksteady.
Yeah.
That's right outside on the corner of the Stone on Broadway.
Mm.
And we were sponsored by Puma. As you can see, we were all wearing Pumas, the red and blues. And we were going to break dance with opening a Beat Street with Rock City Crew when they were promoting the movie.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal. This is on stage. That's King Tech on the side you see over there, on the
Mhm.
right, on the corner. That's me in the middle, and that's the when we did the opening night at Nutcracker
Yeah.
in San Francisco on stage.
Mhm.
So basically, it's the opening gala. Everybody's there, and it's a huge deal in the industry. So everybody was there, and curtain goes down, and everybody's getting ready to get up and leave, and all of a sudden, Thriller comes on,
Mm.
and so everybody sits back down. What's going on? Curtain goes up, 50 breakdancers on the stage.
Oh man.
And man, we got maybe 15, 20 minutes standing ovation that day.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a big deal. That's what happened right in the middle over there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is the history of how we became DJs.
Yeah.
So for the group, what we used to do is make our music. So when we came out on stage, we each had our segments. You danced for this record, you danced to this record, you danced to this record. You know, they're all pretty even, you know, and I wasn't DJing yet, but me and Tech were sat down and I had this dope ass cassette deck with a pause button. Yeah. So every so many bars, pause. So many bars, pause. So it would be fluent with different pieces changing and everybody just doing their own, you know, their own segments in the music, which was dope. We used it for a long time.
Yeah.
Joe Quicks was our original DJ. He was the first DJ of the crew.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of amazing because like you're mentioning, you don't realize, you probably didn't realize you were like kind of already laying the groundwork, right? For you getting to that DJ career at that moment.
Not at all. What happened was at the end of our breakdance career, you know, Home Turf came and put us on. You know, what happened to the you know, the San Francisco Ballet Breakers after breakdancing had died down. Mm-hmm. You know, of course, rest of the world continued on. So now you're watching people breakdance and you're going, oh my God, this dude is doing some crazy stuff. But see, that didn't happen to us because a lot of us, you know, there was no avenue to go. You know, we would probably still be breakdancing if it wasn't for, you know, for the art dying down. Yeah. You know, we were diehard, man. It'd be 3-4 hours of practice every day at home, at school, wherever you got 5 minutes to do it. You'd either be practicing your backspins or footwork or, you know, stand in front of a mirror and try different poses, see which one worked better for your up rocks or whatever. Yeah. And so that really became the stepping stone for us to become DJs.
Yeah.
You know, we understood the music, we understood the beats, we understood, you know what I mean? Growing up, myself and everybody else, you know, it was Cameron Paul, Michael Erickson, you know, different styles. I got the opportunity to work with both of them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And really got a chance to pick their minds. I mean, I can't explain how dope Cameron Paul used to be to people that, you know, right now, everything is lazy.
Yeah.
You see all the DJs, all the new technology is not making them better, it's making them lazier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, to certain DJs get it. Oh, wow, I can do, you know, boom, 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 boom. But a lot of DJs still, you know, oh, yeah, you know, I'm going to play, you know, especially with video, you know, you got to come in a certain way, hit the whatchamacallit, because there is no intro, there's no whatchamacallit, so you got the echo, going to the record. We're in the art of mixing. It's an art for us. Yeah. We have to figure out a way to come in, make it smooth, make it, you know, I might even start a seminar with my man Jeff on just opening people's minds up of how things are working. For you know, I mean, always, you can't say, okay, so Grand Wizard Theodore made the scratch. Look at where it is right now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's people taking and saying, oh, he did this, let me add this to that. It's kind of like breakdancing. Oh, wow, the dude did the spin this way. Let me see if I can do the spin this way and combine it with this and expand it and so on and so forth. That's why Qbert and everybody, they all sit together every day and they come up with new ideas and new forms and try to learn from each other. And, oh, yo, check it out. I did it with this record. I can flip it this way. It sounds so much better. So, you know, my man Rec was talking about how he, you know, grew up listening to us and Glenn, and we still do that. Yeah. We do the All-Star DJ Saturday night on Twitch, all day Saturday with the old guys and the new guys. So who do you got on there? You got DJ Blend, you got Double Barrel Daryl, you have Glenn Oury, G Swift, you have me, you have Alex Mejia, you have DJ Rolo, you have SBC Rick Lee. Yep. So we just, you know, it's still continuing and we all do different stuff. You know, everybody, me and Glenn used to go on at 11 on Saturdays and midnight on Saturdays. And every week we used to try to outdo the next dude in a friendly way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it kept us on our toes. It's like, oh man, he's doing this. Let me see if I can get not so much what he did, but more so what I did that week. And then he did his thing. Now next week I got to try to top both of these. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I used to make these intros and I had 3, 4, 5 of them. And every week I used to add another couple of minutes to each one and then flip it. And then, you know, I would bring acapellas. New record came out, got a new acapella on it. Oh man, what if I throw the acapella in instead of on, you know, on the 3, 4, 5, maybe I can throw it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it just throws the record off. Just trying new ideas. For sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that gives you the creativity to do things, and we still do that today. Yeah. I mean, Glenn Oury got one of the dopest shows because he'll take original records that me and you listen to, and we don't think about it. You know, I mean, I do, but I know a lot of people don't think about it. My wife don't think about it, or anybody like that. You sit there and you're figuring out, oh, this is the original record they used. And then he'll put the school bell on, and then he'll play that. He'll change the tempo or whatever it is and say, look, here's the loop they used, and here's the record. Here's the loop, here's the record. So you always getting, you know, learning things of, wow, so that's what it is. You know, before we got together, I used to do some of my segments like that too. I said, oh, y'all didn't know that she got that from Enya, or this happened here, or just ways for people to just open up their minds. you know, I'm not saying everybody's interested in stuff like that. Some people want to hear just the record and they're cool with that. You know, we try to make it where it's not necessarily just, you know, it's not the same thing him or him can do.
Yeah.
You have to understand it, you know, and you know, we do all-star stuff, which is what we call it, is flip it a certain way with the acapella, play the original. I go into the acapella and I put a funky beat in there. You know, or if it's singing, I put something else in there, or I put two things together that are in key. So when you hear it, it's just candy to your ears because it's like, oh, wow, this works on this too. I didn't know that was going to happen. Things of that sort. We just like to, you know, expand it to a level where, you know, we don't have, I mean, I turn people's pages, man, they got like 200, 300 listeners and, you know, viewers at one time. Man, we're lucky if we got 30, 35 people. But our 30, 35 people like Don Julio, who's I know is on your page listening to this, he is super dope and innovative, and he understands what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of our audience understands that, yo, this is not, you know, your normal, you know, DJ show. It's not people just pushing buttons and throwing records in and talking on the mic and saying hello to everybody. You know, sometimes I might miss you because I'm just concentrating. I don't play the whole song.
Yeah.
You know, in my 1 hour, I'll get at least 50 records in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just, you know, that takes a lot of this and a lot of that. And I got to thank people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it throws me off a little bit, but you know, on the overall, it's a quality show.
Definitely. Yeah, and I definitely got a taste of that on Saturday. I tuned in for a little bit.
Yes, thank you for the follow, by the way.
For sure. So I'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit, but let's jump back a little bit because I definitely want to. Because I appreciate, like, it's you know, it's so amazing. Kind of like you can tell, like, just listening to your set, listen to all of those guys' sets, like the amount of you put into it versus, like, you know, what you said, like other people are just like letting it play out and just chatting. But I was like, man, you're just like bam, you're just going through everything, and it was really dope. Really, like, much respect.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And I it's amazing too to hear that you say that you guys still do that to this day, and I think that's what the whole point is, right? It's iron sharpening iron, right? You guys putting each other together, and so I want to hear about that. Like, let's talk about because so you getting into DJing, and I know your cousin King Tech.
Right.
I think I'm pretty sure that was kind of like you guys kind of like pushing each other and all that stuff too as well. So what equipment did you start on?
Okay, so he was saying that realistic mixer. I know exactly what mixer he's talking about.
Yeah.
But nobody cut like that because so that's why you got a lot of DJs cutting with the volume button.
Yeah.
It didn't have a master volume. You had volume 1, volume 2. That's it. Turntable 1, turntable 2. Nothing else, you know, there's no crossfader, nothing. It was just, you know, you scratched with the volume button going up and down like that. That was initially the way we learned how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you're looking at the DJ mixer like DJ Rec was using, man. The crossfader needs not move, man. You just move in that position from here to maybe not even a quarter of an inch, just a tad, and it's like you're fully in.
Yeah.
Even on the next mixer, which was we used the Newmark, you had to go from here to halfway in order for you to hear what was going on this turntable.
Yeah.
So it was pretty amazing. Actually, it was on this turntable, but the first turntable we had, I don't know if you know the artist Big Mac. Me and Big Mac used to live in the same neighborhood, so we put our records together. And we put our, you know, I had a turntable because he only had one turntable. And he had a turntable with a radio and a cassette. I don't know if you remember those or not. Somehow, I think it had an out. So we came out of there into the mixer, and I had a Sony turntable, and we had the Sony turntable here. no pitch control. Everything we learned to do was with our finger. We had to get it. It wasn't tremendously different tempos. It was close enough where we could just ride it through the mix and bring it in. First bunch of records, I still remember to this day. We had a bunch of Run DMC records.
Yeah.
And we used to, just put those together, and a lot of up-tempo funk records and stuff like that. So it was, to this day, we still talk about it every once in a while, and it was really a learning experience. That's why we appreciate DJing. And when we see the equipment like this, and you got 4 channels going at the same time, you're like, oh wow, you can do a lot. But still, people use 2 channels.
Yeah.
And echo out. Well, what if you put a cappella over here, separate beat over here, put the whatchamacallit? I mean, there's a lot you can do. You just got to be able to think of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's and like all this sync.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to what you were talking about. We'll come back to this later.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely talk about the technology and all that, because it's crazy. So you started with that, and eventually you went to, was it, I think it was the KS, sorry, I don't know what, is it KSOL or is it KSOL?
KSOL was the first radio station in the Bay. It was the soul of the Bay. That was their, Tony Valera was there. Yeah. I came in there. Michael Erickson was there. Cameron Paul were there. They were all doing their thing. So they had a contest with Marcos Gutierrez for the Cinco de Mayo party they always used to have in the Mission. So so funny, man. I still remember it to this day. So I'm at home, and I got all these records. This is at the event.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's so funny because actually Tony Valera sent me this picture that you have. So I was going, through my records, whatever. I just got all these brand new records. I had the brand new Sweet Sensation, all these records, and I put a mixtape together. And my cousin came to town, and he had this dope mini truck with back then mini trucks were really in.
Yep.
He had a nice red one. He had whatchamacallit, and they were holding contests for singers and musicians and DJs or whatever for that Cinco de Mayo party. So I was like, okay. I packed up my all my records and put the mixer and the turntables and everything, and I drive all the way down, and we're jamming to the tape I had just made. And I was like, oh, my cousin's like, man, this shit is dope. And, he's got all these, it was the first Sweet Sensation record, too. And then we go to the place and we pull up, and I'm like, I see Marcos, whatever. I'm like, where do you want us to set up? He's like, what are you, crazy, dude? You DJ, I can't listen to you for an hour, man. Give me a mixtape and we'll call it a day. I'm like, mixtape? Only tape I have is the one I made last night. Yeah. And sitting there, I'm like, man, all right. So I write all my info on it, whatever, put the mix in the, in the box, give it to him. It was on a cassette deck. So we go home. So, and as DJs back then, I'm like 17, 18 years old, man. I'm staying up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, sleeping till noon. 8 a.m. my phone rings, right? And, I'm in bed and the phone is right, because you talk to people all the time, whatever, you have to keep the phone close. This is pre-pager days, okay? So you didn't even have a pager. People just called you. You have to answer the phone literally. Now you'd be like, man, you didn't text me, dude? Why are you calling me?
Yep.
So it's like, the phone rings. I'm like, hello, I'm going, and I recognize his voice. It's Marcos Gutierrez, man. I've been listening to this dude forever.
Yeah.
And he's like, were you sleeping? Oh, no, I wasn't sleeping. And mind you, this was Sunday about 10 o'clock. That's it. That's the exact equipment that I had with me.
Okay.
Wow, how you find those?
I do a lot of research.
I see that, dude. That's the exact. And these are the turntables that are here right now.
Oh wow.
This
Still got 'em.
exact set, because they never go bad, dude. I mean, I did a little modifying to them. I changed some of the wires and stuff to gold wires just to make it a little better, but doesn't make a difference. So it was Sunday about, I say 10, 11. And I gave him the tape, and he was there auditioning all day. And Monday morning at 8 a.m., he calls me and said, dude, I love the mix. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, dude, I want you to come, I'm doing another audition. There's a place in San Francisco used to be called Caesar's Palace. It was on Army. And he was like, dude, I'm doing this. Can you come and mix on this night? I'm like, sure, I come over there. And then another, he was doing another one. I said, can you come on this night? I said, sure, come. So he was like, dude. So that's how I won that contest from that cassette deck.
Wow.
And they put me on. I was DJing from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, just me. And then there was other guest DJs that came in eventually. And the street was packed with people just dancing, going crazy. Then Mike Fain came, and they had, a bunch of other dudes that came by and did their thing too. But man, that was the contest that I won, was that one cassette that for the mixes that I made for our listening.
Yeah.
He was like, man, it's amazing. I just love it. So that's how I got my foot in. And then later, when Cameron Paul left, Marcos was like, you want to do, so I was doing mixes on Wednesdays and Fridays. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you got DJs going in there, the whole lazy thing happened, right? Because all the DJs decided, hey, I just go mix live. I don't have to make a mix or nothing. I just do it live on turntable, blah, 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 blah. But your shit is just some regular shit. Mm-hmm. It took me 2 mixes a week because I worked 2 days on every mix. Wow. So you got to think, I got to sit there. I got to edit. I got to put pieces together. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can't, Cameron Paul was smart because he had all these mix records, and he would play bits and pieces and chunks and mix. So it would be amazing in his mixes that he would do 5 days a week at lunch. Mm-hmm. And he would just create them so dope that he would be, oh, wow, wow, wow. So that's how that came about, that I only did 2 mixes. And my man, Joe Quick, used to be in high school. I'm a little older than he is. He was in high school. He used to go to Hayward High. And he was like, dude, you would catch the bus back and forth to home and school, whatever. He says, dude, I'm on the bus every day, and I see kids trading your mixtape back and forth every day. Yeah. So in a way, you got to understand, I was the first dude to play the real hip hop shit in the Bay. Yeah. Yeah, there was some underground stations that played some too, like the K-Poos and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But for regular radio, we were the ones that, I have test pressings of De La Soul that I used to play. First one to play plug tuning. I was playing original Rock the Bells, where everybody else was playing LL Cool J Rock the Bells. Sure, but not everybody was playing the other stuff. Yep. So we were digging in a lot of Mantronic stuff. Yep. I got test pressings from all kinds of people because they knew if they wanted to get that record played on the air and blow it up, they had to get it to me. So when me and Tech got together and did our stuff for KSOL, we were always trying to take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. Right now you think about it, oh yeah, somebody comes and turns off the turntable and, slows the record down, whatever. Dude, I did that years ago. Yeah. And the way I did it was I had the beginning of Planet Rock. I don't know if you're familiar now, but Planet Rock goes bam, 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 bam on the 12-inch. And then the instrumental goes. So I would go bam, 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 then put it minus 4. Bam, 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 put it minus 8. Bam, 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 bam. Then turn the turntable off and just push it. bam, 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 bam. Then you would break it down.
Yeah.
So people would just be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Then I did that when I did City Nights show with Mantronic. I was on the bill. I was the last one to go before they came on. And they were in no hurry to come on because all the DJs were playing the same, because this in City Nights. And City Nights has a reputation for playing all the freestyle electro records. So 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody came on, play that same freestyle electro. But it's a Mantronic show. So you got people out there just standing around waiting for the show to come on because they came to see a hip hop show and everybody's playing that.
Yeah. So
I got on and I was playing, I fell in the trap too. And then I was playing Beatronic record. He goes, I was like, oh man, I'm on. And then I look up and I see everybody just standing there holding their girl or whatever, just waiting. I was like, oh man. So I'm like, I said, what can I do? So I turned the turntable off and I'm playing it with my finger, right? Because it's slowing down. So they thought the system, they thought the power went out on the system because we're all on stage.
Yeah.
But the sound is still coming out. I'm just, Then I go into Rodney O and Joe Cooley, Everlasting Bass. And the whole crowd screams.
Yeah.
Everybody in the private, they thought a fight broke out. Everybody's in the window looking down, going, what the hell happened? They haven't heard nothing the whole night.
Yeah, yeah.
And some great DJs were on.
Yeah.
But they're just not playing the right music for the event.
For sure.
So I played that. Then I played some Boogie Down Bronx from Tilo Rock. And then I played, I remember that set like it was yesterday, dude. This is This is probably 87. I wasn't even on 412 yet.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing that. And then I played, I remember it so clearly. I went and played Jam Master Jay. J-A-Y, all the letters of his name. Cutting and scratching all the asses of his game. Chippy cutting and scratching all the asses of his name. Chippy cutting and scratching all the asses of his name. So check, so check, so check out the master as he cuts these jams. Cuss these jams. Dude, the crowd lost it. They got so hyped, Mantronic and Teray jumped on that's MCT, jumped on stage, grabbed me, and we were doing the WAP together the whole So I stayed on stage through the whole show, man. And Curtis loved my needles so much. I remember he was like, dude, let me buy these off you. I'm like, because, all the records used to skip.
Yeah.
I had mine when I bought my turntables. The guy gave it to me, vacuum needles, but they were outfitted for linear. So they had to get an adapter to make it for a regular turntable and not fit on the linear anymore. So now it was heavier and it wouldn't bounce. So he was just and it was no problem, dude.
Yeah.
So that was my whole beginning of. I remember DJ EFX was there and everyone was there. It was like, man, that show was it.
Yeah.
And that was really my coming into. People started getting to know me was that show.
Yeah. Nice. So you were kind of mentioning, a lot of people were probably playing electro and freestyle and stuff like that. So when it came to KSOL, like, were you able to kind of choose your own, or were they kind of tell you like, hey, kind of play these tracks? Or
there was, the good thing about being a DJ back in the day was they didn't tell you.
It's very different. Yeah.
It was big. Let me tell you why they didn't tell you, because if you were a good DJ, you already knew these are the records that are going to get the crowd hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of the DJs in the next following, they didn't do clubs.
Yeah. They're
all about, oh man, I just got this new record. Let me just play it. Let me play the new one, this one, the new one, that one, the new one, this one. Because I want to be the first to break it.
Of course.
Okay. And that's when that whole list came out where they're like, okay, you're going to play here. okay, if you wasn't going to be, if I was going to be playing regular records in the hour you're going to be mixing, I would be playing these records. So you need to play these records.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the Big Payback. The Big Payback is a history of KMEL with Sway Tech and everybody else. And the Big Payback, it tells you in there the way that we used to do it was totally different. Mm-hmm. We had the vibe. The station was broken out in different almost clans or whatever. They brought us, Keith Nafley, who's the program director, brought us on in order for us to bring what we brought to the table. Mm-hmm. It's pretty incredible and funny because when Tech first, Tech also won a contest. That's how he got his gig over there. Mm-hmm. And on that, nobody, even Cameron Paul was judging. He was like, he didn't like what he was doing and the whole 9 yard. But the end result being, we brought the streets to KMEL. Yeah. Where the streets were like, you know what? We like what you're doing. We're going to listen to KMEL because of what we brought to the table. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that, everybody, sure, everybody else was doing their thing too, but we brought notoriety and street worthiness. Mm-hmm. I sat with Keith Nafley when, so I'm talking to him and remember when that song dropped by Leaders of the New, Low Tug, Leaders of Underground, mm-hmm. right? Yeah. And they had the first record that Marley produced, and I took it to Keith. I was like, Keith, you need to play this. Keith is like, why the hell do I need to play it? I got these many records that are charting and doing stuff, whatever, and you coming with this record. It's not a bad record, but I said, you don't understand. This is the type of record that's going to give you your street visibility. Yeah. This is what's going to make the street go, oh, what? He's playing what? Yeah. You ain't got to play it drive time, but you spike it in there enough and people will catch it and it'll go. So that's how I got that record at. Mm-hmm. And when we moved from KMEL, the Wake Up Show moved to the Beat, and we were doing everything live there. Mm-hmm. The number one show here was, I have to tell you that story too. So it was Power 106 had the Baker Boys. Yep. The Baker Boys had Friday Night Flavors. Mm-hmm. Because we were kind of friends and acquaintances, we didn't want to, we were like, okay, we'll do Saturday night. Because, Wake Up shows on Friday nights. Yeah. We'll do Saturday nights so we don't do whatever, clash. Yeah. They had, Power 106 had number one ratings the whole time. Yeah. Well, no, it was always number one. No questions asked. When we came, we flipped things around, and before Michelle S. got fired, because Tech was doing some of the programming for her, and first and foremost, we had the biggest numbers on the show, on the station, period. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we brought the people that these people ignored were on top of our list. We had a battle of MCs every Saturday night. People came to the station, whether it be Exhibit, Raz, Kaz, mm-hmm. Saphir, and including all the other people from like Tribe Called Quest, Biggie. By the way, Biggie, big friend of the station. And the last interview in LA he did before he got killed was on the Wake Up Show. And then he came to the Bay, did Wild, and flew back and got shot. Yeah. Literally that Saturday, Wednesday. Yeah. And it was just, and I never seen anybody. It's funny because if you look at those pictures and you get the video, you see me in the background in the Studio B, but I'm like looking because I'm training Rev. I'm about to get married. Yeah. So I'm training Rev to take over because he's hungry and he's ready. and I'm trying to move on to another aspect of my life.
Yeah.
So I'm like watching him, and Tech asks him. He goes, "Hey, dude, do you have anything on the new album you can recite that people haven't heard before?" He's like, "Dude, it's full of curses. I can't do it." He said, "Well, you see this button right here? This is a cough button. You hit that button, and your mic shuts off." He goes like, "Oh, okay." He did a whole verse and bleeped every one of his curses, didn't miss a damn one. I've never seen that before, dude. That's why, to me, that's one of the dopest MCs of all time, just for the simple fact that he could just and then on another thing is Gavin was the biggest thing in the Bay. Mm-hmm. All the record labels used to verge, and you'll see it in that book too. So they all came to Gavin, and every one of these radio stations that's today's hip hop and R&B stole their format from KMEL. Mm. Everyone was listening to the station going, "Oh my God, that sounds so good. Oh my God, that sounds so good." So they all wanted to do it. And that same time after the Gavin, BDS came out. So people are pulling our playlists. Before that, you used to put a playlist together. So-and-so record got so many spins. This record got that many spins. Everything was written.
Yeah.
Now you can pull day parts and look at BDS, be like at 11:10, he played this record. 11:15, he played this record. 11:18, he played this record. Mm-hmm. So you have it. So I can take your Monday playlist and play it on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, so that's how all the other stuff, everybody bid our stuff. So the night that we had Gavin, we had the wake up show. So all the artists are in town with nothing to do. So we're like, come down, be a guest. So we had Red Alert, we had Cool G Rap, we had Jamalski. Everybody that was here for that convention was there. So we put a big sign on the window. Hey, please no cursing when you do freestyles, whatever. Boom, boom. First dude to do a freestyle was Cool G Rap. So we're ready. Boom, boom. Tippy, Joe Quicks is throwing a beat. Boom, boom. Cool G Rap goes, "Motherfuckers just don't understand." Right out the gate, we just took that sign and forget it. Let's go. We'll get fired all together tomorrow. But the shit was so big, nobody said jack to us.
Yeah.
People were just like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." It was just, everybody was talking about how dope that show was and the whole nine. And it was funny because we had people from New York that came and were like, "Man, I can't believe that I have to come all the way to California to hear this kind of radio station." Because, Hot 97 wasn't even happening yet.
Yeah.
Eventually, Hot 97 happened. And, before that, if you there's a documentary you see on Netflix or whatever, with the guys who did the college radio thing. And they used to have and people used to just sit there on their, radios and whatnot and be like, have freestyle people come, Bobito and them, basically. Yeah. And we didn't know Bobito and them. We were doing our thing. They were doing their thing. It just happened to be the same thing almost.
Yeah.
And, but we had no idea. Eventually, Bobito and them came and Stretch Armstrong and hung out with us and the whole nine. We let them take over. They were good people, man. Real good people. So what you see Sway doing today on Sway in the Morning and it's blowing up all over the place, whatnot, is the same wake up show format for today.
Yeah.
We're not, it's no magic or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So before Michelle S. got let go, we were number one. Mm-hmm. And she got fired the day before the book came out, because if the book would have came with the ratings, they couldn't fire her. So they fired her. The book comes out number one, the whole night. Now, on that same night we had the Gavin, we had some kids from, Bakersfield, they're like, "Oh, we're the Baker Boys, man. You know, can we come to the show and hang out?"
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, you know, we're yo, you're welcome to come hang out with us, man. You know, we look out for everybody.
Yeah.
We're not, oh my God, it's me. Forget you. You know, we ain't talking to you, whatever. We're humble. We're down to earth. We're just homies. Let's come and hang out. And they came and hung out, and we were doing the wake up show, and they looked at each other, man. I will never forget that look. And they were like, so that's how you do a hip hop show.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, Friday Night Flavors was born.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, if you can see all these, I don't know if you can see them or not. They're all test pressings from the time I was in KSOL. Yeah. They're all on the wall.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, so definitely you guys were innovators. So jump back real quick. So from KSOL, at that point, you left and you went to start doing Club 412, or?
I was doing Club 412 after I got on KSOL because I was doing when Cameron Paul left from KSOL to KMEL, and they had this drop. They used to always, I can never forget it, man. He was like, when the others weren't watching, we got them, Cameron Paul. Yeah. You know, they made a real big deal about it. This is Club 412.
It was a pretty popping spot.
It was pop. I had it going on for a whole year without any advertising. I mean, we didn't, you know, this club used to have commercials on the radio every week.
Yeah.
And we kept it going. You know, they saved a ton of money, whatever, for a whole year with no commercials whatsoever.
Wow.
So, you know, eventually started, you know, trickle down because, you know, you keep singing in people's ears, you know, you come here. Eventually they're going, okay, I'm going to go over there and see what's up.
Yeah.
But we did do really well for a whole year.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
That's Baker Boys right in the middle. That's Eric V.
Yep. Eric 2015 was asking what year was 412?
412 was in the 80s.
Let's see.
I say 85, 88 was the years for that.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so I know too, at one point you were kind of, was this previous? Because I know you said Cameron Paul was kind of taking it over. So at one point though, he was there and then you took over. Before that, you were kind of opening for him?
Yeah, well, the way I started was he needed somebody to open and close. You know, he would come in and he would do the meat of the night. And then because the club went to 6 a.m, he wasn't going to stay to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't get there till like, you know, so I would play till about 10:30, 11. And then he would come 11 and he would go, this is not 412.
Yeah, that's Studio West, but I just
that's Studio West because it's got the 1500s there.
Yeah,
dope. Yeah, but that's his studio.
Yeah. So how was it? I know you were mentioning this earlier. Like, how was it? Learning from Cameron Paul.
All right, so you got, you know, he was big on those freestyle records, right?
Yeah.
Those freestyle records are all hand edited. They're not quantized like the records today where it goes brr, 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 and they're all on, you know, perfect measurements, whatever. You can just ride it, no problem. You see that picture? I'm in the white, Cameron Paul's in the black, and that's Billy Vidal next to him.
Yeah.
The only picture I got with Cameron Paul is back is turned. That's straight.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, do you have any pictures of them?
Yeah, that was my only picture with him, and he's got his back turned. And that's the Mantronic show.
Okay, that was the Mantronic show. Okay, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Mantronic show.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the Mantronic show. So he used to mix these records, and this is where I think, you know, it's incredible that you have to learn your records that well, because those those live drummers and whatever, they they don't keep the tempo the same. They up and down. So you have to know where to slow the record down, where to speed the record up. You know what I mean? And he was so incredible at doing that with those freestyle records on the breakdowns or whatever, that he would just, that's where I learned, oh man, the dude, the whole 4 hours he would mix, he would never mess up. Yeah. And in rarity, when he did, he would cover it so well, nobody would even notice. I would notice because I'm watching it and I know what's going on and I can hear it. Yeah. But as an audience, nobody would know. Yeah, that's what's so incredible about that dude. And I try to tell people, you know, it's like, you know, he was all right. I don't know, you know, different generation. You can't tell people, hey, you know, my generation, Michael Jordan. You talk to the new kids, man, they're all Kobe Bryant. Yeah, yeah. And you talk to the newer kids, it's all about what's his name? You know, and the newer kids are all talking about, you know, how you can shoot 3-pointers all day, no problem. Yeah, you know? Oh, like you're talking about Steph Curry, maybe? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then I'm talking about LeBron and Steph Curry. And, you know, everybody you talk to is a different, you know, new generation, new kids you look up to, whatever. Yeah. So, you know, my generation, you know, in quarterback, it's the same thing. If you talk to somebody, say, oh, yeah, what's his name was the best. To me, Montana was the best. Yeah. And then you get, you know what I'm saying? Different rules, different book. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. They used to hit the hell out of the quarterbacks back in when I was watching it. Yeah. Now, if you hit them too funny, man. It's penalty. What do you mean? How am I gonna hit the dude without hitting the dude? Yeah, yeah. So that's the basic, you know, premise of, you know, that DJ being such a great dude is because for that period and the way things were done and mixing was done, there's no echoes out. You know, who do you listen to people now, dude? Nobody's mixing anymore. Boom, 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 echo. Boom, 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 echo. Sometimes echo and just throw the record in. It's like, you know, really? Yeah. So we try to make it a point on our show to yo, it's the way it's supposed to sound. It ain't supposed to sound that way. Yeah. You know, and all these people, they all have pre-produced mixes. You see all these people in the festivals. We weren't getting, listen, when I was DJing, there was no social media. Yeah. There's no camera. I don't even have pictures of when I was DJing. You know, I'm sure somebody does, but I don't have any pictures. You know, I know people that came by used to try to take pictures with us or whatever every once in a while. But if I had a phone like this, dude, I'll put a couple of those out there, dude. 1,500 every Friday and Saturday. You couldn't throw a nickel. It would never hit the dance floor if you came in between 11:30 and 2 in the morning when we let people out. It would never hit the dance floor, dude. No. And people are like, well, you got to play music and then you got to rotate it so that they can go to the bar and get a drink. And no. When they're thirsty enough, they go to the bar. Yeah. But when they go to the bar, new people come in. So your dance floor should never be empty, dude. It's just a rotation. You got to keep people rotating. You know what I mean? Yep. It's just funny that way. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And so, you know, obviously you so anything else you remember like learning from Cameron Paul or Erickson? You know, Cameron Paul used to have those mix records. That was one of the things, but his mix records were really poppy. You know, these people weren't comfortable playing in the, you know, 85 to, you know, 100 BPM. Mm-hmm. You know, 1, 2, 3 records, I'm out. Maybe I play with her. Next thing you know, you're hearing new shoes. Ding, ding, that's about a 112. Yo, you know, what happened? 110, 112. You just quickly, you know, oh yeah, I play LL Cool J, maybe a Mantronic record or whatchamacallit, and then an R&B record, I'm out. The soul of the records didn't happen at that tempo. Mm-hmm. So people weren't comfortable. So when I did my mix record, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put all the hot hip hop records from here to here. Yeah. And just let it go. At the same time, my man EFX was doing all the dance records from here to here. You know what I mean? So I was doing this chunk, he was doing this chunk. Two different audiences, two different type of people. Yeah, some DJs play. As a DJ, you would have to play both. I play house music, I play electro, I play soul, 70s, 80s.
Yep.
I play hip hop. Depends what day you catch me. On Saturdays, I pretty much stay with my KMEL format because this is really an all-star show with the KMEL guys. Yeah, we played those records on KMEL too. Yeah. One of these days, I might surprise everybody. Be like, yeah, check this out.
Yeah. Awesome. So
I see you got to pull a lot of teeth to get me to talk.
No, yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. So let's talk about a key, pretty important part of history. 1988, Dope Mix, Volume 1.
Yep. That one, you see how it says 45 RPM?
Yep.
It did me on that one, dude. Because I designed this to be a cut record back and forth before all these other guys started doing cut records. But it never came out that way. It came out too fast because, if you see produced and mixed by Big Ed, all the records sound better when they're at 45 RPM because the grooves space out. So it sounds cleaner to the ear because it takes longer to make that rotation than if you do it 33. So it just opens up the grooves and the record sounds fuller. But not a DJ-friendly record anymore. And that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. So on the second volume, I was like, dude, you got to let this go. Unfortunately, people like this one better, the orange one. A, because it was the first one. B, because there was better records out then. Then on the second one, whatever records came out between this and this were used. You know what I mean? Because I had already used all the records up to this part. So whatever records were left over, but the sound and the trickery and the way that the record is mixed in sounds, the second volume is way better than that one. This was like more of a test than anything.
Got it.
So we kind of flipped it and try to make the second one better, but the records aren't as good as this one, and everybody remembers this one. I'm talking to people and they're like, what? I like number one, dude. Number one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Forever. And everybody I talk to, I'm talking to a lot of people, and they were like, man, that orange record. Then it dawns on me that the records are just better records on that one.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was the quality of mixing was better. It was just better records. And then there was a volume 3 that was supposed to come out.
Oh, really?
But it never came out to fruition because we had too many problems collecting from here and the whole 9 yards. By the way, this is the B side too. Yeah. With the bass groove and funky get down. Those were extra beats we put on there. People were making records out of them because it was beats that Tech and I did.
Got it.
So this, people that know, they know that this is, a lot of new generation know, they don't know. This is before their time. Yeah. But this one was done better, and it's at 33 RPM.
Yeah.
So
right there. Yeah.
It worked out a lot better for DJs, and I was cutting it back and forth to death. The funny thing is I got a lot of the volume 1 records still in my hand. I only have a handful of these ones left.
Yeah. Wow. So a couple questions on these. So, and I think actually, Air 2015 asked, how was this created in studio?
We did a 16 track, left and right. So it became an 8 track. And my man Mark 5 was the engineer on that one. A couple of things slipped on there. He accidentally erased the hi-hat. I'm not even going to tell you where it is. You guys got to go find it yourself. You think it's done on purpose, but it was done by error. There's a
Wow.
piece you're gonna see with Kid and Play at towards the end of this red cut, and all of a sudden you hear the hi-hats go out and the hi-hats come back in, which is done because in the middle it was erased by accident. So when he punched it, he punched the wrong one in and erased that hi-hats. And we're like,
Oh man.
but it recovered fine. Nobody knows. Nobody,
Yeah.
they don't know.
Yeah.
They think the record is done that way. So you just punch it out, punch it back in when you want it to. But there's one segment, if you listen to, you're going to hear the hi-hat all of a sudden and then come back in. But it's a fine section. We did it that way because that was the only way we could recover.
Yeah.
Take the whole thing out instead of the little piece.
Yeah. Nice.
It worked out. It's fine.
Awesome. And then how many units did you sell for each volume?
I think I did 60K of each. I was supposed to get $1 per.
Oh man.
I'm still waiting for my check.
Oh no, really? You got
No, I got a little bit, but not quite 60. I got a couple of grand on each, because I got a couple of grand to do the first one, then I got a couple of grand advance to do the second one.
Yeah.
But we never recovered.
Damn.
So volume 3 we were about to do volume 3. We couldn't get distributors and stuff like that because nobody wanted to mess with it. And if you listen to the orange one, there's a piece with colors. I was playing the acapella in the beginning, and they were like, "Oh, that's too long. We can't put it out." Blah 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 blah. I'm a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king on my jank, just a gangster stuck in colors. Yeah. I had to throw that in because they wouldn't let me ride the acapella. I had to go back in the studio and redo that piece. So that's when you hear that whole, the hook coming to colors. Colors. Doom, doom, zoom, 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 zoom. Man, I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
Your memory is amazing because there's other people.
I can't believe I remember that, dude.
Hey guys, check this out. Inside scoop, everyone, on how it's amazing. You're just remembering these certain instances, and I think everyone's getting some inside scoop. So it's amazing that you're. Thank you for sharing this stuff with us.
Oh, absolutely, awesome. Man. Yeah, always a pleasure, man. Anything you can do.
Yeah. So I know you were kind of jumping into it and stuff like that, but then in 1990 to 97, you were basically with the Wake Up Show. I
was doing mixes on KMEL.
Okay.
And I was doing the Wake Up Show. Joe Quicks was really DJing a lot of it till we went to LA. Yeah. And then, I would come in and out if Joe wasn't able to do it, whatever. We're all family.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. You know what I mean? I would go in there to support whatever they need, blah, 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 bring an artist in, whatever it is. We're all part of Wake Up Show. It was a unit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our people freestyle, do the recording, do all that stuff. So eventually there was a falling out and Joe Quicks was out of the picture. So Tech was like, dude, I need you to hop on the wheels from here on and do that. So not only was I producing it, then I had to DJ it, and I had to do all the, send all the CDs and stuff out to different radio stations so we could be syndicated for whether it was Philly, it was Chicago, Champaign, Illinois. It was, so we got, a lot of views. It was KMEL here at the Beat. So we did a lot, man. It was just always some of the talent that came in. I can't tell you, man, how dope some of these dudes were.
Yeah.
And it would just pop out of nowhere, be like, yo, all of a sudden you get a phone call on the hotline. Yo, this is Exhibit, man. Who's rapping, dude? I'm coming over right now. It's like, all right. Rask has an Exhibit. Always came through.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And this was you were based in LA at the time, or were you hopping back and forth?
The hub was in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, every once in a while we went and did the show in the Bay.
Okay.
Just so we keep it moving.
Yeah.
But most of it was done in LA for those bunch of years.
So did you move to LA, or were you hopping back and forth between LA and the Bay?
No, I lived in LA. I came here to work at Priority Records.
Got it. Got it.
I
Okay.
was doing that while I was at Priority Records.
Got it. Got it.
And I was at Hits Magazine. So
Yeah.
you should do that on Saturdays.
Man, you know, it's funny because a lot of times when I try to do these things with you guys, it's like, where do I go? Because it's like, it just sounds, and this is what I noticed with a lot of you guys, you know, like, you guys are all go-getters, right? Always doing things here, doing things there, doing things there. And it's like, whenever I try to go chronologically, it never really works out because you're like, oh, while I was doing this, I was doing another thing. I was doing this. So
Yes.
we will jump to Priority, but let's focus on Wake Up Show. Like that was, so yeah, so you moved to LA obviously for Priority, and then you're doing a Wake Up Show, and like, you know, I think I have a couple slides. You've definitely had a lot of people that you ran in with, and
Yeah, that's me and ICIs. We were both at the Beat, and
Yeah.
this is at the House of Blues.
yeah,
And they were like, dude, you got to come through and hang out. And Tech was like, I can't make it, dude. What? You got to go cover for us. I was like, all right. This is up in the in Walnut Creek,
okay,
that club over there. And standing next to me is I am Sam. And this is when I was doing promotion at Relativity. Went up. I was working with Mo Thugs, and she was our artist, and I took her up there, and we were hanging out with the Baker Boys. That's me and Mr. Chalk.
yep,
Just hanging out. Yeah, he's a cool ass homie, dude. He helped out a lot, always.
So yeah, going back to so like you're saying, you're DJing, you're kind of producing. Like how was that? Just trying to juggle all of those things.
It's you find a niche, right? You see especially when you're doing radio promotion and you do mixture promotion, and they put out a record, and you see it as a promoter. Hey, dude, only this group is gonna play this record because it only fits in this cup.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something that fits in a bigger cup. So you got more people playing this record, not just people, because if you only got a record with one dimension, you can't hit the other dimension, dude. And that's me and Lil Jon. And I worked Lil Jon when I was at TVT, and right before he blew up, dude, I took him all around the country, because then they gave me a gig at Epic. I work, this is at Epic. When I'm at Epic Records, I'm working 3LW, J-Lo, Michael Jackson. We're doing B2K. That's the story I have to tell you, man. We went to KMEL with B2K. We got there to do, I think it was Chewie's show. It was in the evening. We get there, nobody. We do the show. We come out. There's a mob outside, just having the little girls trying to throw them. Go talk to them. Go talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just incredible. That's when I was working with my friend Magic Mike right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know or not, but these two guys are super dope DJs from New York. They're originals from the first date. So we got a chance to hang out and kick it together. It's just, dude, it's been historical for me, man.
Yeah.
I still talk to Magic Mike too. Talked to him the other day.
Nice.
He's a great dude, man.
Yeah. Yes. So I guess we can jump to it now. So yeah, like you mentioned, you made the move to LA, and you were at Priority Records, and you were doing promotions.
I worked Mac 10. I wasn't doing promo. I was doing retail promotions then.
Retail promotion. Okay.
So I was like, there was no presence anywhere in the streets, and we were the street element of, wherever you want to. If you're not thinking street, dude, they do T-shirts, they put a couple of posters up, boom, there's my street element. There's no presence in retail. There's no posters in retail. There's none of that. So me and my friend Big Paul, we took it to the streets, man. We went in every retail, whether it was Royce Fortune's records or whatever, the whole LA. And we sat there and, we built relationships and, made things happen where the records were blown up. Now, this this the funniest picture of all, because I wasn't going to take a picture with her. I was like, nah, I'm not into the into taking pictures with artists of that sort. All the rappers and everybody I know. I don't know about Aaliyah, but I was like, fuck it, I'll take a picture with her.
Yeah,
dude. Right after I took this picture, she passed away.
That was when the plane.
It was just it was just meant to be, man. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And she's so nice too, genuine, nice.
Yeah.
But I'm a hip hop dude, man. We don't,
Yeah.
But Leah, I was like, okay, fine. I'll take a picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do it. I'm not the type of dude, Eric Sermon, friend of mine. I broke EPMD. If you look at the back of the first album, I get a shout out and a special thanks to Princess, because I broke. So I know Eric Sermon. Gotcha. I know whatchamacallit. These are all people that we know. That's why you see that picture. This is all in the same area. That's why I'm wearing the same shirt. It ain't I got. This is the only shirt I got. It was just, it was the same convention that we were at, and I kept running into people, so we're taking pictures or whatever. This one is in Miami with Special K and Teddy Ted and Magic Mike. So those are just some historical dudes, man, and good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And it's just natural. Yo, what's up? Let's take a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing when now you walk around with a phone and say, oh yeah, let's take a picture. Boom. Selfie.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
That was our selfie for the moment, dude. And
sure.
When you're in promotion, you always have a camera handy, because whenever you go places, you want to take pictures. See? Same shirt, Eric Sermon. I was like, what's up, E?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So then, so from Priority, I don't know if you're working at, sorry, I forgot.
I went from Priority to
magazine,
KIIS Magazine.
Yeah.
We were doing In the Mix with Ricky Lee Mensch, rest in peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He passed away a bunch of years back. And after that, I just did strictly Wake Up Show, because we went to full syndication.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was getting married. So I was like, you know what? This radio thing ain't really my, it's good to this level, but it ain't, I want to get married and have a family, whatever.
It's a grind.
I don't want to keep packing up and moving, because shit happens. You know what I mean? God knows what's going to happen with the Wake Up Show. They sold the station not too long after that.
Yeah.
So the Wake Up Show syndication, the whole thing just, they're still doing it, but now it's on satellite, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I was going to move on. So I got the gig at Relativity.
Got it.
And they called me. They were like, yo, come here for an interview. Went for an interview. Did all kinds of craziness. And, I was the first dude that ever played Bone Thugs, Thuggish Ruggish Bone at KMEL.
Yeah.
So they always remembered me for that.
Ah, yeah.
So they were like, dude. And then we always wanted to hire radio dudes, because they understand the concept of what it needs to happen for a record to blow up or whatever. You understand.
Yep.
And sure enough, people look up to you and do whatever. So they kind of brought me in that way. And it was probably one of the best label jobs I ever had. Because I work at a bunch of labels. I work at Restless. I work at TBT. I work at Epic.
Yeah.
It is all kinds of weird.
That's it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Since you mentioned that, yeah, since a lot of these record labels look at DJs as that's usually the natural progression, right? For a lot of DJs, a lot of them kind of move on to record labels.
Some do. A lot of record labels look for that.
Yeah.
They want to see you graduate from being a DJ. They want to hire somebody from the radio station, because we understand what needs to happen with records.
Yeah.
And of course, times are different now. I don't know if radio promotion is even that as effective as it is. Now everything is being spent on streaming.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into that. That's I think that's a great transition, is technology, right? Obviously within the last, I guess we could say maybe 10, 15 years, a lot of jump in technology, obviously with, like you mentioned, streaming, iTunes, Napster, all that stuff.
Napster was a holocaust of fucking record labels, man.
Yeah.
They were I was working at Universal Music Group. I'm still in Universal Music Group now. And when Napster came out, they was just like everybody was crying.
Yeah.
Until they put all the cease and desist in there, and then Apple was the one that was running things, and they were all wow, Apple, Apple, Apple. So at the same time, Spotify is coming up.
Yeah.
But Apple is the big Willie of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So everybody try to help out Napster so it wouldn't be a one pony show. It would be a competition. So, if you can always leverage, if you ain't going to do it, this way and that way. And now Spotify is so big that Apple's falling off in terms of that area.
Yeah. Yep.
The streaming area, the music area. They're all about, selling, computers and phones and stuff like that, which is, they let the other one kind of lag a little bit.
Yeah.
So Spotify took over and is running things. And I think Tidal and stuff like that are about to be out.
Yeah. 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 It's interesting. We'll see how things shake out.
Well, they sold Tidal, so I don't know what's going to happen after that.
Yeah. So we had another question. A lot of your old radio shows, do you still have a lot of them? And can people access them or?
No, I mean, I still got a lot of reels.
Yeah.
But I don't have a lot of them posted. It becomes dated.
Yeah.
I do have some newer stuff that I put out there. If you go on, DJ Prince Ice on, what is that stupid thing called? I'll tell you right now. If you go on Mixcloud, you're going to probably find it. Okay. I have a bunch of shows, that are radio mixes that I did. Yes, this DJ Prince Ice on Mixcloud, I think. Yeah, honestly, I haven't been on there forever, and everything is now Twitch friendly.
Yeah. So let's ask you about that. So when did you first hear about Twitch, and then when did you hop on? Okay. And what's your thoughts on it?
Well, it didn't happen organically because when we went into quarantine, I started mixing on IG.
Yeah.
6 times a week for like 6 months. And every so often they'll cut my mix off. Every so often they'll cut my mix off. And then we all decided as a group that we were doing the show on IG. And people kept getting pissed off because their mixes keep getting cut off.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's try to merge and do Twitch. So the Twitch adventures started, and you can't, for the life of you, man, I can't get anybody, from my IG to come over to my Twitch.
Yeah.
They're like, they don't understand the concept that, how much work is being done on Twitch that I can't do on IG. The sound quality is better. The visuals are better. You can just enjoy it. They're just thinking, man, do I have to put another app on my phone to whatever. Yeah. But they don't understand the concept of, wow. And we were late. I ain't gonna lie. That's why, you see me with, if I'm lucky, I got 30, 40 views, on a good day.
Yeah.
Because we were so late coming over. And none of my 30 people from my IG channel want to come over. Maybe 2.
Yeah, it's rough. What advice do you have for DJs today?
Honestly, wow, that's a tough one. It's hard for me to tell somebody what to do when what they're doing is working. You know what I mean? Tons of DJs out there.
Yeah.
Unless there's somebody like me going out, they're fine. You know what I mean? I personally, I can't go anywhere because I don't like none of the DJs I go out there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're a veteran DJ, which I know a lot of people are that I deal with, they don't get it because they're used to that system that's been working for, everybody wants to be a DJ, right? If you're a basketball player and you throw the ball between your legs and every ball tends to go in, hit the backward in a weird way or whatever, and you make, let's say 50% of your shots, and I want to teach you how to shoot like a regular basketball player and take your percentage up to 75%, 50% is good enough for you, man. Why are you going to try to, do it different way?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of works the same way with rappers.
Yeah.
My kids are listening to rappers now. I'm like, they're like, you don't get it, Dad. I mean, what do you mean I don't get it? It's rapping, dude. I get rapping. I know rapping.
Yeah.
This is, some of the stuff they're saying is not, listen, I love Tupac. I think Tupac is deaf. Is definitely deaf, is all that. Tupac is not hip hop. I know you like him. He's great. He's urban music. I like it. He's a rapper. Hammer is not hip hop. Okay. Outkast is not hip hop. That's just the way it is. You want to listen to hip hop, you have a certain criteria. You are listening to urban music, dude. This is not hip hop. Mm-hmm. Sat in a whatchamacallit the other day. I'm driving down, my Uber driver, he goes, do you mind if you listen to some hip hop? I'm like, dope, let's go. And he turns on the music and we're listening to music, and I'm like, hey, tapping him on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, dude, the music you're listening to is not hip hop, dude. I just want to let you know that right now.
Yeah.
And I think radio is a lot to blame for that, because they lost the identity of a lot of stuff. Because where hip hop and R&B lives, and they call everything hip hop just because it's rapping. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not hip hop. I see. I go on YouTube and watch hip hop dancing, and she's not dancing to hip hop music.
Yeah,
it's not hip hop.
Yeah,
it's like So identity is a big issue, I think, in that music. And I work for the company too, man. I work for Universal Music Group. I'm in there. It's none but artists, and they're like, "Oh my God, what do you mean you don't like so and so?"
Yeah,
I'm sorry, dude. Hey, I don't like people that rap like this.
Yeah.
I'm more into the, why is it that you like Rakim so much, dude? I was talking to MC Shan the other day. I was, the story with that is that when Rakim came and he was working with Marley Marl, all the rappers were like battle style rappers. They were screamers. And he was like, I came through the door. I said it before. I never let the mic magnetize me no more. But it was very smooth, and he didn't understand, what he brought in. He was like, why are you bringing him here, dude? And he told Shan, dude, if you want to make this record, dude, you make it. Dude. I'm not, I got to go. Yeah. So Shan ended up making the record.
Wow.
And that's when, every car that was driving down Bronx and stuff, Eric B's President and My Melody, and all those records are done by Shan. And I was telling him how much I appreciated, and a lot of people do, how dope it is. And he was like, well, I've done other things, and because he got paid a lot from Informer when what's his name took it. So that's a big deal too. Not to take anything away, but to someone like me, that's the B crate.
Yeah.
The A crate got the Rakims and the Mobb Deeps and the, the Biggies and stuff like that. And that's just, that's just the way we look at it.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you see, obviously with Spotify and all, Pandora and iTunes and obviously Twitch now, like, where do you see, since you were in the radio game, where do you see radio going now, or what do you think they need to do to kind of stay relevant?
I think radio will always stay somehow relevant, just because they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're they're based in a certain area, right? So if you live, let's say, in San Francisco, and you're driving in the traffic, you could be listening to whatever you're streaming, but every once in a while you want to see what's going on with the neighborhood and what's going on with your favorite, just so that they're talking to you in terms of what's happening in your area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because looking at the whole, this is a sound factory, by the way, me and Greg Mack.
Yeah.
It's international, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer, aiming at you and your consumption, because music is different. If you go from San Francisco to San Jose, music changes.
Yeah.
And that's not even that far. That's an hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
San Francisco was playing all whatchamacallit. You go to San Jose, it's all freestyle and Studio 47 and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was always, I think radio is relevant, but is it a big relevancy? Possibly not, especially for the new kids, man. None of my kids, they're all Spotify kids.
Yeah, Spotify and TikTok, right? I think a lot of them.
Well, no, they don't TikTok too much, but they do Spotify a lot.
Yeah.
They do Instagram a lot. They, every once in a while they do, TikTok looking around. They don't like to do other things, and hoorah and dance and act a fool. They're not too much into that. But they oh, Dad, have you heard this one? And play me a record. I'm like, I'm sitting there just clenching my teeth. Yes,
you're
son. That's great.
Kids, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Well, it's weird for my daughter was, I don't know if you saw This Is It from Michael Jackson. Did you see that movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you see that little kid in the forest?
Yeah.
That's my daughter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's nothing I can say that's gonna top being with Michael Jackson in a movie, dude. that right there just closes my book right there completely, dude. And she sees me. She gets on my streams every now and then, and she jumps in, she supports, and she does all the great stuff.
Yeah.
Great kids, but it's just they don't, historically, I don't think they,
generation.
They they it's a different, I'm sure people's other parents were like, what are you listening to that rock and roll shit for? That shit no good.
Yeah. But
when I'm listening to it from my perspective, I'm like, none of these records sound like classics, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, you listen to, that's leaders of the new school. Wow, the whole KMEL squad.
Yeah.
Lion Prince, Franzen.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we went to dinner one night. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're sitting there, you're basically trying to figure out, none of these records are going to be classics, man. I don't hear it. I don't know, right? You're listening to, from 10 years ago, maybe 20. There's a few, I think the classics now are all going to be pop records.
Yeah.
They're not going to be those, I don't care how much you listen to them. I don't think you're listening to the same ghetto record he's listening to or she's listening to. Yeah. You go ahead and all of a sudden you're going to hear a whatchamacallit record come on and you'd be like, oh yeah, she was hot. I remember this record was dope.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I remember I was like, fuck it. One of these days, I'm just going to mix the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I cleared that room like somebody just had a heart attack, dude. my whole Twitch scene just became, and I was like, what am I playing too? Because, you know what I did? I said, you know what? Let me do this. Why don't you guys pick all the records I'm going to play? So the kids played all the records I want to play. Now, my audience doesn't want to hear those records.
Yeah.
My audience wants to hear these records. I have a bigger audience playing freestyle records and electro records than I do playing the new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I was trying to get into that realm with those new kids or whatever, which, you know, I'm 50 some, dude, it just doesn't look right. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You continue playing that guitar hanging on the wall, no problem, dude. Because I'm not playing, you know, the relevant records. I'm playing classical guitar.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You play some flamenco stuff, people will be all, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, doesn't have to be no age or nothing. It could be old, young.
Yeah. We'll
see. After this whole thing is over, we'll find out, you know, if we can stand on our 2 feet on Twitch or not. Because and another thing is, I see female DJs that are lapping us in audience.
Yeah.
It's like, really, dude? That talented, huh? Just lapping, dude.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It is what it is, bro. We play for our audience. Our audience comes, and you know, as long as they get a good show, we're happy.
For sure.
And you know, everybody, it's respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. If anyone has any questions in the chat, ask away. Any last minute questions? I think you kind of touched upon this, but yes, where do you see the future of music? Basically, you're kind of saying like you think pop music is just gonna be like the quote unquote classics of the, I don't know what you call these, the 20s.
You know, yeah. Well, I think a lot of, you know, there's a few of them, but you know, all the rap artists that's gone pop are probably gonna be, you know, classics next. You know, the Lamars, and you know what I mean, the stuff like that. The stuff that got commercials, and you know, there's like, you know, the Jay-Z's and, you know, stuff like that are still going to be classics. I don't know if that one dude that just the 2 records, and you know, and a lot of the stuff I'm listening to, man, it sounds like the same programming with different hi-hat, dude. It's like they got the machine. They're like, okay, what does this machine say? Okay, we got the okay, I'm just gonna change the hi-hat right here. Now it's mine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, Serato got a studio, right? You know Serato Studio?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, Serato Studio is a beat making application.
Oh wow.
You tell them what kind of beat you want, they lay it out for you, and then you make it your own. Moving the high, adding the snare, whatever you want to do. So everything is laid out. You just subtract or add, you know what I mean? And change it around a little bit. Take the hi-hats from a and then move the over here. So it's like and then it's yours.
Yeah.
You know, you add your own samples to it. You got your keyboard, whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, you know, beat making for the dummy.
Yeah. Everything, like you mentioned, like with everything with sync and all that other, it's just making everything like automated and simpler.
You know, anybody can do it now.
Yeah.
I'm telling my wife, you know what? You should come to a Twitch. I bet you're going to do better than me. Everything will be laid out. Right there. You know, in a good hour, I could teach you how to do this better than anybody can do. 1 hour. You know, and my daughter was really good. She has no interest in it, and nor my son, for that matter.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to DJ, man. And I'm telling you, if you go on my Instagram, you're going to see a picture of a little girl scratching and cutting it back and forth. Her timing was just immaculate. She would have been so great. That was lesson 2.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like, wow, really? Yeah. So, you know, if anybody got any questions, let me know. I'm here.
Yeah. I hear that a lot, though. Like a lot of, you know, like more of the old school DJs, a lot of their kids aren't into it, you know, and it sucks because you guys have so much great knowledge to pass on to them. You know,
it's like having Yoda as your daddy and be like, you know what? I don't want to fuck with the Force.
Yeah.
It's not really my Force. You know, Force and me, we're just not friends, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, here's my question for you. would you rather go work at UPS or work at Starbucks as opposed to create your own page, do your own thing, do an hour, and get paid the same?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you not do that?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
It blows my mind, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they might realize later on. It's kind of like, it reminds me of, like, I don't know, when I hear other people, like their parents were, were forcing their kids to, like, oh, do piano or do clarinet. And then when they're older, they're like, oh man, I really wish I stuck to piano or I did this. Oh, I wish I listened to my parents. Maybe that might happen. We'll see. We don't know.
Well, that's by that time it's too late because you're gonna be missing the wave.
Yeah.
True. My kids surf now. They love surfing, so they're
that's cool.
Yeah, they love surfing, and you have to catch a wave at a certain time. If you don't, you're gonna miss the wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is exactly the situation you're in now.
It's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, and same thing happened with me on Twitch. We came to Twitch too late.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else got our audience where we could have had our audience early. Now we have to struggle to, get a couple of people here, get a couple of people there, whatever.
Yeah. And
listen, more power to every DJ. I'm not trying to say, he's better than you, you're better than me, I'm better than you. None of that. All I'm saying is we have a certain style.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like the old martial art movies. My style is better than yours, or yours is better than mine. None of that, right? This is exactly what I deliver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you like that kind of sound, then you want to be on our page. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that I feel I don't want to really put it out there, but if anybody wants to come through and oh wow. That's DJ Rec, dude. In glasses.
Oh, the Bay Area. Oh, sorry, the Bakersfield.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Wow. Yep. How funny is that, dude? And this is on at the bomb up there, right? KBMB.
Oh, okay.
That's that's when I was working Snoop Dogg's Girls, Doggy's Angels.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. So two things. I think you're onto something. I know there's like a Twitch person that they were like, someone was teaching their significant other how to DJ. Like that could be a little segment you do, is like you teaching your wife how to DJ and showing that on stream. That would be kind of cool. Number two, give everyone Prince Ice a follow. Can you tell us when you stream?
Absolutely. I definitely stream on Saturdays with the All-Star DJs, which is, we do, the time kind of moves depending on what the schedule looks like. But it's me, Glenn Oury, Double Daryl Barrel, actually Double Barrel Daryl. And then we got DJ Bland. We got SBC Rick Lee, which is Dragon Style, and Alex Mejia is on there. So we all kind of roll it that way. On other nights, I do Tuesdays and Thursdays sometimes with the Mix, which is MIXX. We're also on Instagram if you're looking for it. And every now and then I jump in whenever people want me to do a freestyle set with the Freestyle Kids or whatever. So just look for me, follow, and be alerted. And then you'll get an email, and I'll let you know when my schedule is. But we try to, we're a mixing crew.
Yeah.
We like to create things and do things different. You're not gonna hear what we do on every other show.
Yeah.
That's just the basic of what I can tell you. Yeah, people will play records, much props to everybody who plays videos in their mixes. I don't mess with videos in my mixes because that's when every picture will look the same.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep,
You're playing a video, I'm playing a video, he's playing a video. If we play the same track, it's the same video.
Yeah.
I like my page to look different.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So it's always, I'm always digging in and finding all that stuff that you saw with its work put in there for the week, trying to get the page, ready for my, we had who DMX passed this week. I have to put DMX pieces in there so that it's relevant. And, everybody was playing, I try not to play the same records I thought everybody else was going to play, the big ones.
Yeah.
Everybody was going to play, I'll go, what my mind? Up in here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I definitely noticed that. Yeah. You definitely, your visuals are great on your page, and props to you and everything. And
thank you.
awesome.
Yeah. It just trying, it does create a little lag. So that's the only thing is when you're cutting it, your sound goes a little faster than your hand movement. So,
yeah.
People think I can't dance because I'm a little offbeat when I dance because of
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and dropping some great knowledge and history and story. And give them a follow right here. Twitch, DJ Prince Ice, Instagram, DJ_Prince Ice, as well as Facebook, DJ Prince Ice. I think that might have been Prince Ice LA, right? I believe.
I don't really know. I'm barely on Facebook, folks. Don't try to go on Facebook too much, man. I'm barely ever on there. Instagram, I'm always checking. Twitch, I always see everybody, and I want to acknowledge everybody and thank you for all the follows and love. I appreciate you guys always. Thank you.
Thank you. And any last words for you?
Appreciate you all having me, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.